hey, hey, hey. Everybody clap your hands if you know the words. Celebrate today. I said, hey, hey, hey. Celebrate today. Now my name ain't Dre, but John is here to say that today is the day that we celebrate the stem cell debate with much to contemplate, and I'll wrap it straight, cause we're feeling great as we celebrate the stem cell dialogue. Celebrate. Yeah, that's right, get moving in the back. Dialogue. On top, Sheldon Krimsky had an idea for a dialectic that he would lead, a conversation that could guarantee to understand society's needs, to find science meaning that we can heed. Like a stem cell, it's grown like a seed of a deeper conversation in which we believe, defining and refining our society's needs, helping find a voice. Shelley did succeed, so thank you, Shelley, showing us the way. I wrap this stem cell tribute today. Your dialectic, hey, you're the man. Your stem cell dialogues follow a plan. Never authoritarian, controversial but not contrarian. You tell a story that is clarion and strive to meet the criterion that defines the word humanitarian. He defines the word humanitarian. He defines the word humanitarian. Stem cell dialogues fulfill the mission of helping develop our intuition, giving science and humanity's definition by reflecting on our presuppositions, recondition our mind for recognition of conflicting issues and juxtapositions. Stay tuned into our human condition. Stay tuned into our human condition. For all the values in which he believes, we feel lucky to have received this open-minded book that he's achieved. He moved far beyond what was preconceived to help us all deeply understand that it's diversity of views that make his conservation land. Diversity of views make his conversation land. Diversity of views make his conversation land. Celebrate, everybody. Woo! The stem cell dialogue. Celebrate the stem cell dialogue. Now, what about the style that he used? So sharpen your Socratic voices. The dialogue will help us all make choices, hearing issues in different voices, epistemological or biological, diabolical or neurological. A conversation, not pathological. Yo, metaphysics is not an obstacle. It's the argument that is methodical. It's this argument that is methodical. Rebecca Franklin was looking for proof to seek out healing and scientific truth from the day her father fell off the roof. From the day her father fell off the roof. On issues of social and ethical dimensions that had escaped her comprehension, she dedicated scientific attention, questioning ideologues of all intention. These dialogues read like poetry in motion. Shelley gets in touch through Rebecca's emotions to follow through on the notion of a dedicated daughter's deep devotion. Of a dedicated daughter's deep devotion. Dr. Franklin always being true with a sense of justice. You see, she has it too. She sees the world in a big picture view. Her values and ideals, yeah, they shine through, breaking new ground and breaking through. As a stem cell world she tries to construe. Through dialogue, she's looking for clues. In each of them, she might find some truth. In each of them, she might find some truth. Celebrate. Embryos without ovary from a little skin cell biopsy. Now that's what best of pluripotency. We now have potentiality of curing infertility. It's a new way to make a family. It's a new way to make a family. But according to Laura Murphy, it's embryonic tyranny. Cause when these embryos come to be, who bears responsibility? So read about Rebecca's ethical plea. So read about Rebecca's ethical plea. So read about Rebecca's ethical plea. Now, here comes the Eggman, cuckoo, cuckoo, a stem cell magical mystery tour. Selling eggs is not taboo. Oversight.org of good breakthrough. For a beggar, it seems like deja vu. Says egg brokers are not misconstrued. The profit motive is clearly their view. It's time to start an ethical review. We need some stem cell justice too. Murawski's plans, hey, don't ring true. These oversight donors he'll continue to screw. The oversight donors he'll continue to screw. Another chapter, I think it's called To Clone or Not to Clone. To clone or not to clone. Is this a sin? Should we atone? Chadwick and Franklin, they did speak. If we should sanction this technique, this is not for the ethically weak. To copy your parents' primitive streak is not for those whose hearts are weak. Just ask the mother of Dolly the sheep, from whose udder these cells were reaped. The dialogue is open to critique on the slippery slopes of SCNT, on the slippery slopes of SCNT, on the slippery slopes of SCNT. Now, got another question. Moral status of the embryo. That's another chapter you want to read about. Moral status of the embryo. Have a panel with a rabbi and a monsignor. Does moral standing begin to grow upon fertilization in vitro? At what point in gestation do we experience individuation or intercellular communication or unified structures upon fertilization or feel the feeling of sensation? That's all right from the book. That's right from the book. That's exactly his words. But states can't resist the temptation to decide on fetal maturation, laws on personhood and procreation. It's a craze that's sweeping the nation to invoke embryo sequestration, to invoke embryo sequestration. As a Jewish rapper who is old school, when it comes to embryos, I follow the rule. Personhood starts with admission to medical school. Personhood starts with admission to medical school. Circumventing embryo side, advocating to keep embryos alive. Flannery would not deprive the rights of embryos to survive, but to treat patients we can't ignore. More ethical dilemmas are in store. The highest standards we stand for. The embryo protection does underscore the vulnerable we must account for. The vulnerable we must account for. Shelley tells the tale of Dickie Wicker, a constitutional sticky wicket that presents us all with legal enigmas. The value of life we need to consider. Are ES cells an organism? Whoa, 1 second. Gotta start that up again. Hold on, a little more music. Hold on.